the masculine heart, in the sense of myself being a single mom and having an only child, and that only child being a boy. And therefore, knowing it was my responsibility to try to form him as a man, not in my feminine image, but rather in the image of a man. And so that was quite a challenge. But obviously, I had to spend lots of time praying, but I also spent lots of time reading. I often joke about how I spent more time reading books about masculine formation than I have about feminine about how to raise your daughters, because I didn't have to raise a daughter. But, I didn't know by experience what it was like to be a man and what it was like to experience the world as a man. And therefore, I had to rely on the experience and the writings and the insights of other men in order to then try to pass those on to my son.
And I mean, did you come from a family where, did you have a father that was in the home where you were growing up?
I had a wonderful father. I often like to say I had an almost ideal childhood, which is kind of a risky thing to say, but, my father was very involved in the home, and he was very present physically, and I knew I was very loved, and, he did things with the family. I saw the love between my father and my mother, who, by the way, will be celebrating their 60th wedding anniversary.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. What a great example.
Beautiful. And I have to say that I fall in love with my parents' marriage more and more every time that I'm with them. And I just see the beauty of a woman who's committed themselves to each other for their whole life. And I just watch them fall in love with each other. And then also watch the beauty of the masculine and the feminine in a cooperative effort of life. I think that that's probably one of the greatest gifts my parents gave me, is that I saw them together in this common project called life. And that was a beautiful, beautiful thing to see, how men and women worked together, but they didn't duplicate each other. They weren't trying to compete with each other. They weren't trying to say they were the same. They lived and continue to live this beautiful complementarity of life together.
Well, so seeing a healthy family environment, going through the difficulty of raising a child on your own, I mean, and then being in